is dependent on them and, stuff like that. But if you have people that depend on you financially and you don't have life insurance, I'm going to go ahead and say that that's pretty irresponsible. That's just what it is, to be honest with you. It's not financially healthy. It's not something that is something you should be proud of. And let's see, Michael says, will Prime members have access to the recording? If you email the support team, they can get you access. So email support at theblackbusinessschool.com. That's support at theblackbusinessschool.com. So I did a little research on this, like in terms of just figuring out like how many people actually don't have life insurance and why. Why don't they have life insurance? Okay, so let me see here. Let me see. I found some stuff here. According to the Hennerman Group, out of 6,850 people that die every day, 3,292 die without any insurance at all, and another 1,445 die without adequate insurance by their own admission. This means that 48% of the people who die every day, that's half, approximately half, do not have adequate life insurance. They don't leave benefits behind, and another 21% do not leave enough to meet their family's needs. So let's look at this. Let's make sure this math. No, wait. This math is it's not quite. I didn't math it right. I didn't. The math wasn't mathing the way it's supposed to. So let's add these numbers up. So let me see. The number was 3292. So 3292 have nothing, and then there's 1445 that have a little something something, but it's not enough. So if I take that number, 4,737 people, this is how many will die today. How many will die today? And I divide that by 6,850. That's almost 70%. So 69.15% of all people, according to this study, die without adequate life insurance. I think that's absolutely insane. I think that's it's very sad if you have people in your family that you love. Now, if you do not love your relatives, then this does not apply to you. But if you do, I just don't get it. I just don't understand um why people would die without life insurance, because it's so important. And the other thing about death is, and we talked about this before, that sometimes death does not make an appointment. And you'd be amazed how many people think they're never going to die just because they don't talk about it. And the thing about life is that we're all in this movie together, and none of us is going to make it out of this movie alive. None of us. And so I encourage you, just as a consciousness exercise, to take a minute and say, do I have enough life insurance such that if I died tomorrow, my people that I care about are going to be okay? So you have to imagine yourself as a ghost who's sitting there watching your loved ones struggle and suffer because of things that you could have done yesterday, but you can't do today because you're in heaven. All right. So one other thing that I want to read to you all is they made a list of perceived or reasons why people die without life insurance. So they said here that many people believe that life insurance is too expensive, which keeps them from purchasing a policy. That's not true. Life insurance doesn't cost that much for most people. You should speak to someone. There's a company, the blackinsurancenetwork.com. I think that's what the URL is. Let me see if it works. The blackinsurancenetwork.com with Yolanda Spivey. Um, and I have used them. No, their URL doesn't work. If you look up Yolanda Spivey, maybe I got the URL wrong. But if you look up Yolanda Spivey, that's my insurance person. So if you talk to her, tell her Dr. Boyce sent you. Also, Aisha Verzi, who is maybe in this class. Aisha, if you're here, say something in the chat. Or if you actually sell insurance, then feel free to to mention your business in the chat. I can't vouch for any business that's in here though, so make sure you vet properly. But I encourage you to talk to somebody. The second reason they say people don't get enough life insurance is complexity and time consumption. The process of obtaining life insurance is often perceived as complex and time consuming. This can discourage people, especially those who feel they do not have time to navigate the complexities of different policies and terms. Well, if the complexity of getting life insurance is too much for you, imagine the complexity of your children having to beg for money in the street because daddy did not make plans and preparations, or your family having to go through the complexity of setting up your GoFundMe account and putting your face up there because you didn't handle your business before you died. Misunderstanding of needs. They said a lot of people They think that if they are young and healthy, they don't need life insurance. Or those without children also believe that life insurance is unnecessary. Uh, I'm gonna say that if you don't have kids, I really, or if you have adult kids, what's supposed to happen is that when you have adult kids, you're supposed to have assets that you can leave to them instead of having to leave the life insurance. But truth be told, I think at the very least, a basic policy to make sure somebody can bury you might be required. A lack of awareness. Some individuals are simply not aware of the importance of life insurance, okay, and the potential consequences of not having it. What else? They said income levels. According to an LIMRA study, a significant number of people with certain income brackets, 50,000 to 250,000 per year, do not have any life insurance. This suggests that financial constraints or prioritization of other expenses over life insurance could be a factor. Okay, I get that. Adequacy of coverage. Even among those who do have life insurance, many do not have adequate life insurance. This is often due to purchasing policies that do not meet their family's needs or financial situations, etc. Okay. So yeah, so ultimately I would encourage you to consider life insurance if you don't have enough. If you do have enough, maybe getting some extra would be an awesome way to level up your family. I got my policies and then I was like, you know what? They don't cost that much. Let me get another one so that in case something does happen, I can level up the people that I care about. I don't want the people behind me to leave as broke as they were when they came into this world, right? So I think that setting a simple goal like that, making sure that you are a kind of a slingshot, like or like you're the rubber band man. You propel people forward by your existence. I think is really really critical and important. And then once you get the life insurance, you may want to look into trust and things like that. Just things that also can avoid probate. Probate is where people lose a lot of money because they didn't make plans and preparations. The lawyers make their money off probate because people don't plan for their death, and then death happens, and somebody has to go through and sort through all that stuff and make sure everybody gets what they're supposed to get. Also, the other problem is that if you don't make sort of adequate instructions and put them in place, you can end up leaving things to people that you don't want to leave things to. Like, so if you have an ex-spouse or something and you forgot to take their name off as a beneficiary of something, then next thing you know, your current spouse is upset because all your stuff went to this other person, things, little things like that. And I told you all that crazy story that there was a really true story about the guy that was in his 50s who had the 32-year-old girlfriend who and he I guess because he thought like a lot of us so-called OG types, a lot of us get tricked into thinking we're going to be young forever.